phone doesn't ring. That's the part nobody tells you about. Not the room, not the food, not the smell of the hallways at night. The part they don't tell you is that one day the phone just stops ringing, and after a while you stop being surprised by that, and after a while longer you stop waiting, and that last part, that's the part that took something from me I won't ever get back. My name is Ruth Combs. I was born in Harlan County, Kentucky in 1934. And if you know anything about Harlan County, you know that what it gave people was mostly grit and coal dust, and a particular understanding that life does not owe you softness. My daddy went into the mines at 14. My brothers went in. The mountain took 2 of them eventually, the way the mountain took from everyone, a little at a time or all at once, depending on what kind of day it was deciding to have. I did not go into the mountain. I married Earl Combs in 1953. Earl was a good man, not an easy man. Nobody from Holland is easy, but good in the way that counts, which is that he stayed. 31 years we had. He worked the mines until his lungs wouldn't let him. Then he drove a parts truck until his back wouldn't let him. And then he sat in the yard and watched the birds and seemed mostly at peace with that arrangement. Earl died in 1984. He was 53 years old. I was already in Lexington by then. We had moved in 1959. Earl wanted to get the children out before the schools got worse, and I wanted a telephone in the kitchen, which sounds small but felt enormous to me at the time. We got one that first year. Yellow rotary, the heavy kind. It sat on the counter next to the coffee maker, and when it rang, the whole kitchen rang with it, this full round sound, like something that meant business. I loved that telephone the way you love reliable things, the way you love whatever it is that connects you to people without you having to go anywhere. I worked the switchboard for Kentucky Utilities for 19 years. My hands knew the plugs before my eyes did. I knew the voices of half of Fayette County before I'd ever seen their faces. There is something about being the person who connects the call. You never forget that you are in the middle of things, that people need to reach each other, that the line has to stay open. We raised 3 children in that Lexington house, Gerald, Donna Lee, and the youngest, Terry. Gerald went to UK on a partial scholarship, which I told everyone about for approximately 11 years. Donna Lee married a man from Louisville and moved there before the ink was dry on her diploma. Terry stayed local the longest, which I used to think was loyalty, and later understood was just convenience. They were not bad children. I want to say that plainly. They were not bad. They were busy, and then they were tired, and then they were the age their parents used to be. And somewhere in that process, the distance between a phone call and not making one became very small and very easy to cross. Earl's death left me alone in that house for 35 years. 35 years. People act like that's a tragedy, but honestly, the first 20 were fine. I kept a yard. I made my groceries. I drove until I was 81, and then I stopped driving and called Terry to take me on Tuesdays, and he did. mostly. And when he didn't, I called Donna Lee, and she sent money for a cab. And that was its own kind of message, but I accepted it. The children visited. Christmas, usually. Sometimes Easter. Gerald would come in from Frankfurt, Donna Lee from Louisville, Terry from across town, which always struck me as a little funny. You can live 12 minutes away and still show up like you made a journey. They sat around the table I'd had since 1967 and ate what I cooked and looked at their phones and talked about things I only half followed. And I was glad of it, glad of the noise, glad of the mess they left. In 2017, I fell. Nothing dramatic, just the back porch step, a wet morning, a moment's inattention. Broke my wrist, bruised my hip. I healed, but something changed after that in how they looked at me. Not with more love, exactly, with more calculation. You could see them measuring things, the stairs, the distance from the bedroom to the bathroom, the number of steps between me and whatever came next. They started talking about options. That's the word they used. Options. Like I was a problem with solutions. Gerald said a facility would give me community. Donna Lee said it would give me safety. Terry said it would give him peace of mind, which was the most honest thing any of them said, really. And I have always respected honesty, even when it stings. I told them I wasn't ready. I told them the house was manageable. I told them I had lived in that house for 60 years and that yellow phone was still on the counter and I knew where everything was in the dark. They heard me. Then they proceeded. I moved here in March of 2019. The room was clean. The staff were kind. The way people are kind when kindness is their job. Gerald helped me carry in 2 boxes and a lamp, and he hugged me at the door and said, "We'll talk every week, Mom." And I believed him. I had spent 60 years connecting calls for other people. I understood what a line was for. I believed every word. The calls came weekly for about 2 months, then every other week. Then on birthdays, if I was lucky, and sometimes I wasn't. By 2020, the pandemic gave everyone a reason not to visit that felt official. And I understood that. Truly, I did. And after the pandemic, there was just nothing official, just quiet. I tried Gerald's number in the fall of 2021. A recording said it was no longer in service. I tried it again because I thought I'd misdialed. Same recording. I tried Donna Lee. Same. Terry's rang 4 times and went to a voicemail that was full. I put the phone down on the little table they gave me here, and I sat for a while, looking at the parking lot through the window. I want to be precise about what I felt, not rage, not the kind of grief that makes noise, something quieter, the way a mind goes silent after the last shift. Everything that was working just stops, and the silence isn't empty. It's full of what it used to be. There is a photograph on my windowsill. Gerald and Donna Lee and Terry. Christmas 1971. Terry has a toy truck. Donna Lee is laughing at something off camera. Gerald is looking directly at the lens with that serious face he always had, even at 13. I took that photograph. I was behind the camera. I have thought about that a lot lately, about how many years I stood behind the camera, making sure everyone else was in the picture. That's a thing mothers do without thinking about it. You frame everyone else. You make sure they're lit right. You call out, smile, and you press the button. And then you put the photograph on the windowsill. And someday you're the only one left who remembers what was happening just outside the frame. The yellow telephone is gone. I couldn't bring it, no room. It probably went in the trash when Gerald cleared the house. 60 years on that counter, and it went out with the other things that had no one left to argue for them. I'm 92 years old. I have outlived the mountain and a husband and the patience of my children. There are women here who have visitors every Sunday. I watch them from the common room. I don't begrudge them. I was a woman with visitors every Sunday once, and I remember exactly what that felt like. And I am glad those women have it. What I know at 92 is that love is not a feeling, it's a practice. It's something you do on a Tuesday when you don't feel like it, when you're tired, when 12 minutes feels too far. Earl knew that. He practiced it every day until he couldn't. Nobody taught our children that, and I have spent 5 years deciding how much of that is their failing and how much of it is mine, and I have not finished deciding yet. The phone doesn't ring. Some mornings I still listen for it anyway.